Welcome to my presentation, everybody. My name is Camden Robertson, and the subject of today is cybersecurity freelancing. It's an interesting one. So let me start by telling you a little bit about myself. My name is Camden Robertson again. I'm a fifth year in the cybersecurity BS/MS program, so ideally my last year, no more super senior for me. So I'll graduate in the spring. I've worked at a few places. I'm kind of doing victory laps on the internships, ideally. I've worked at AmTrust Financial, which is an insurance company. Worked at Wegmans, which many of you may have shopped at. And I currently still actually work at FM, or Factory Mutual. They're also insurance. I'm a big Linux guy. I love the Scratch programming language. You might also see me around the club. I am the Red Team Chief with James Southcott. And I also run the Freestyle Ski and Snowboard Club. So come check us out if you're interested. So a little forward, you guys might be wondering, who is this presentation even for? Freelancing sounds hard, freelancing sounds scary, freelancing sounds like a job, like work, like what the heck, I don't want to do that. So I guess I can tell you guys a little bit about why I wanted to get into it. So I used to really struggle getting like motivation for projects. Like people always say, like you need resume items, you need to set up your own networks, you need to set up your own services, you need to do all this. And I struggled finding like a justification for doing it when I was like, I could be playing video games right now. You know what I mean? I could be on Instagram Reels. I could be like working at McDonald's or something. I could be making money. And so freelancing for me, like once I got over the initial hump, it's like, it is a little bit fun to make money doing your own thing. And it's a good way to like do projects and keep yourself accountable because like people are paying you to do stuff. If you mess up, you're A, not getting paid, and B, you're getting roasted on the internet. So this is actually where I started. Have you guys heard of Amazon Mechanical Turk? Can you raise your hand if you're familiar with this? Really, nobody? Nobody knows what this is. So this is actually where I started making money on the internet, and nobody else should start here. Don't go here. This is like the depths of hell. This is really bad. So I've linked it here. Let's see. Let's open it up. You guys could join if you want, but I wouldn't recommend it. So this is where I started a while ago. And I was just interested in it because I heard of it, and I thought it was interesting. So before we go into there, who's familiar with the Mechanical Turk? Raise your hand. Okay, a lot of us, right? It was like a mechanical chess player. It was like a little robot guy, right? They're like, wow, it's a crazy machine that's really good at playing chess. It was like a long time ago. It was a couple centuries ago. But low-key, there was actually someone inside the box, and he was playing chess the whole time. So what Amazon Mechanical Turk is it's basically like, let's see, is there a nice little summary of it here? I guess not. But it's basically a way for people to say, like, I want a bajillion human responses. This is something I can't automate, and I need people to do it for very cheap. How cheap, may you ask? Very cheap. If you look on the right, these are the jobs that are available to me. So I can look at surveys for 5 cents. I can do more surveys for 5 cents. I can help shape new ideas for 95 cents. This is really bad, guys. This is really bad. But this is where I started, and I probably made like $10 over the course of 20 hours doing this. So pretty good, right? That's almost 50 cents an hour. I feel like people are making more on the corner by Wegmans than that. But anyway, that's what first piqued my interest. I actually saw this because when I was doing research studies for one of my classes, they're like, you can use Mechanical Turk to get responses. Like people use this, and it's actually pretty good for getting survey responses if you want like a ton of them. It's just well set up. But anyway, let's talk about the agenda now. So we're going to start by talking about freelance venues, so where you can start freelancing. We're going to talk about Upwork in particular as a venue, which is actually what I use. We're going to talk about the type of contracts. We're going to talk about getting your first 5 jobs, which are the hardest. It's also like getting your first, I guess, internships. That's also the hardest. It's very tough to get your first jobs anywhere in the world, online or in real life. We're going to talk about a tier list. We're going to do a tier list today, so I hope you guys are excited. And we're going to do a live job search demo. So just a warning, there are some sensitive themes like employment and jobs in this. So here's my credentials. I've been on Upwork since about May. I've been freelancing for like, I guess that's 5, 6 months, 6, 7. And I got some good stats. I mean, I'm not trying to glaze, but 100% job success. I'm top rated. 24 jobs. And then I'm also a bit of a LinkedIn monster. I'm a big LinkedIn user. It's my favorite social media. I actually had LinkedIn before I had Instagram. It's kind of crazy, right? So now that you know I'm qualified, let's talk about freelancing venues. And I'm sure, raise your hand if you're familiar with Fiverr. A lot of us, right? And the reason why I'm familiar with it, and I think a lot of you guys are too, is there's a lot of these videos, right, where they're like, I paid a $5 editor versus like a $10 editor versus a $1,000 editor. And those are always fun, and they're like sponsored by Fiverr. But there's a lot more venues out there. There's Upwork, and I actually found out about this one because a friend got like a real job through it, and they wanted to pay him on that platform for whatever reason. But if you look it up on Google, there's a ton of these other ones. I haven't really heard of many of them, but they're out there. So yeah, Upwork is what I use. I think it's better than Fiverr, but no really need to get it. They're all pretty similar. So let's talk about the Upwork contract flow. This might seem a bit intense, but there's 4 unique steps. So first, you're going to search for a job. Ugh. Then you're going to propose to it. So you actually have to apply for the job. It's a niche money-making method. And so once you apply to the job, you'll get an interview and then ideally get a contract. And it's kind of like a funnel. You're going to get less of each step, but the further along you make, the more money you'll get, which is kind of nice. So there's 2 types of contracts, and this is for Upwork, but it applies to other platforms too. You're either going to have hourly contracts, which is where you're working and you're getting paid a certain amount per hour. It's not that crazy. Or you could have a fixed price, and fixed price is actually way more fun to me and probably to all of you, right? Because like $15 an hour, it's like, do I just work slow? Do I drag it out? I can't really do anything else during this time. If it's fixed price, you're motivated, A, to do it quick, get results for the client, and B, you're motivated to like do good just because it's your brand, right? You need to get good reviews or else you're not getting more jobs. So I like the fixed price ones more. And another part of it is you're going to bid on these contracts. This is standard for contracting on Upwork, on other platforms, with the government, anywhere. You're going to bid for contracts. And this basically means you're going to lowball yourself like you're on Facebook Marketplace so that they'll accept you. So a hard part about contracting is you need to get like initial jobs, right? Like I'm sure if a lot of you guys haven't gotten a first co-op, you're like, wow, I've been applying for jobs forever and nobody wants me. This sucks. Like I think my first co-op, I probably applied to like 200, 250 jobs before I got an offer, and it was pretty rough. And this is kind of the reality for contracting too. When you start, your profile is going to look like butt. Like this is like what employers see when they look at your profile. And they're like, why would I want to hire this guy? No earnings, no jobs, no money, no future, no nothing, right? This is what you're going to look like when you get started, and it sucks. But we can fix this. So your first 5 jobs, you're going to be weird, all right? You won't get to work the jobs you want, and that's okay. You just need to work jobs, period. This comes for contracting on any platform. And you're going to need to be scraping the bottom of the barrel because people will not want to hire you if you don't have experience. So these are some jobs that I did at the start. One of this was a quick voice survey opportunity. This was weird. It was like they had me call a plumber in California and like ask for their rates in a weird roundabout social engineering way. That took like 30 minutes. I got paid $5. It's terrible, right? It's terrible, it's terrible, it's terrible, but this is how you get started. You got to get some numbers under your belt so more people will see you and think you're not like a scammer on the platform or something. There's also like virtual assistant tasks, and these are usually pretty vague, but what they end up being a lot of times, they're like, leave a Google review on us, but we're going to make you do all these random things so you don't think you're just leaving a Google review. It's very weird. There's also like tech support, which is fine. This is probably one of the better ones, actually. So now we're going to hop into a contract tier list, and this kind of parallels to what we were talking about before, where like you're going to need to do some pretty bad jobs before you can get to do some good jobs. So let's rank these real quick. Got a few jobs on the bottom, some job categories. Let's get started. So where should we start? Let's start with data entry. Are you guys familiar with data entry? This is basically where people like have you go to a site, have you go to a PDF, have you go to like just a resource and then put it somewhere else. It's like you're really just typing. This is grunt work. It's pretty bad, but it's not the worst. It's usually pretty low paying, but it's usually pretty consistent. It's very easy to get hired for. So that's why we're putting it in C tier. Compliance. Who here likes compliance? Raise your hand. Compliance is like following the rules. I mean, all right. Some people are passionate about compliance. There are a few people in the club that were pretty passionate. Maybe some of you will as you grow older. It is like a little boring to some, but some people are very passionate and some people need to be, so it's good. but I'll actually put this in, it's like B plus, but I put it in A. And the reason for this is because compliance work pays really well, but two things. One, I mean, maybe it's just not my interest. Hopefully some of you guys get interested in it because you can get paid a lot if you are. But the other thing is you need like certifications for this stuff. You need experience with things like SOC 2 compliance. They'll ask to see like past reports you've done. They'll also ask for certifications. So there's like ISO 27001, like lead auditor, lead implementer. Those are certifications you can look up. And if you get them, you can get paid a lot doing these things. So it's a good job. It's just hard to get into. I actually haven't done any of those yet, so that kind of shows it. Consulting. You guys know what a consultant does? Tell us, what does a consultant do? Exactly. Yeah, that's pretty much. They don't do much, right? Yeah. Consultants. Yeah. So consulting is like someone will ask you to get on a call, and they'll just like ask you questions. It's just like an interview, and they're like, are we doing this right? What do you think? Like consultants are probably one of the most valuable jobs in society next to like vibe coding and day trading. Like it's pretty up there. All right, so consulting is actually a grail because I've gotten paid up to like 70, 80 bucks an hour for just like chatting with people. So this is pretty up there. That's a grail. Next up is tool or infrastructure development. This is like black team stuff. So if you're big on black team, you'll probably be pretty good at this. This is a step up from IT. I'd put this A tier because it's pretty fun if you're making a tool. Like I've set up VPNs, I've set up proxies, I've set up like man-in-the-middle things for people. I don't know if they're morally ambiguous with that, but I don't get paid to ask questions like that. All right, lead generation. Lead generation, if you guys are familiar, it's almost like a sales thing. It's not really cybersecurity, but it's pretty fun. I mean, it's not fun. I don't really do this much, but it's like on par with data entry. It's like data entry, but you get paid more, but it's morally ambiguous because like you're contacting people that don't want to get contacted. So I'll put it in the same tier, but it's like a C plus. It's like a B. Next are odd in-person jobs. These are kind of a mystery, and you can actually get local jobs on Upwork. So I've seen jobs for like taking photos of houses in Rochester, and it's like you drive out there, you take some photos for like a listing, you drive home, you get paid. I didn't get that one, unfortunately, but I did get, you know what I did get? I got a job to buy, it's like $140 of Doritos. Take pics of the serial numbers, give them to my friends, and had them take out like surveys. And I got paid like $300 for that. Just kind of crazy. There's random stuff. So odd jobs are fun because they're random, they're weird. They kept them, yeah. It was like a little donation almost. OSINT, there are real OSINT jobs out there, guys. I'm actually not joking. They're real. They're fun. They're morally gray. But talk to me after class. But these are A tier just because they're fun. But you might need to say no to some contracts if your heart tells you so. Penetration testing. This is A tier almost for the same reason. Like it's fun, it's cool, everyone wants to be a pen tester. But same thing as compliance, you need certs for this. Like you need OSCP, you need past reports. Like I've gotten interviews for this, but it's been like, it's a little over my head. Like if you're good at web app pen testing, that's probably the most common thing. Like the bug bounty stuff that was in the presentation before me, that's what'll get you these contracts, and it's really good money. QA testing, this is B tier. So this is like going on a website and seeing like how fast it loads. You'll make reports for it. You'll look for typos and stuff. It's very grindy, but it pays better than data entry. Like I got paid like $150 for an overnight thing with this. They're like, I need this QA tested tomorrow morning. And I was like, all right, I pulled an all-nighter for $150. It was okay. Account recovery. These are D tier. These, do not take these. These are pretty bad. So people will go on Upwork or like other platforms and they'll be like, oh man, I lost my Facebook account. I've been talking to support. Please help me get my account back. A hacker took control of my account, get back into my email, all this stuff. And it's like, it's just not possible. They don't know what hacking is. They don't know that you can't really do that. Like, I need a white hat hacker to hack back my account. No, you can't do that. Like, I mean, maybe there's like 1 in 10, but most of the time, if you take these, you're probably just going to disappoint them, and they're going to give you a bad review. So I would just stay away. Fake reviews, D tier. I mean, you have to do them to start, but that's it's the bottom of the barrel. Like fake Google business reviews is a big thing. Service desk hourly. So, like I said before, there's fixed price jobs and there's hourly jobs. I would recommend staying away from the hourly jobs because if you're working for $20 an hour, why don't you just go get a co-op? There's not really a huge point to like rack up hours for like not a crazy price. So I would put this C tier because it's better than account recovery, but It's not good. A lot of the service desk jobs, we'll do a live demo when we look through the jobs after. We might go over time. I don't know. Is that okay? Is it okay if I go over 4? Maybe. All right. Yeah, that's C tier. SOC hourly. It's better than service desk, but it's still hourly. And then industry surveys. These are also B tier. They're like consulting, but they only pay like $20, and it's not like a real interview. It's just like you're filling out a survey. So that's the tier list. Hope you guys enjoyed. What else have we got? Live job search demo. All right, we'll make this quick. So this is what it looks like to look for a job. So you're going to go find work. And we're going to see a lot of recommended jobs based on jobs I've taken. So you see a lot of the categories I mentioned in the tier list. We're going to see like penetration testing, website testing, gap analysis, I guess pen testing, mystery shopper. That's a cool one. HIPAA compliance, big things like that. But if you're looking for like your first 5 jobs, you're going to want to look through the following things. You're going to want to go like data entry. You might want to start here. And these will hire pretty much anybody. Pretty good to start. Not full-time. Nope. This is lead gen. This could be good. Audio transcription. So this is good, right? They're going to have you listen to audio. You're going to type it out. So you go apply, check it out. And you can actually buy a subscription on this. It's like $20 a month, and you can see how much other people bid. So my going rate is $45 an hour. The range they wanted, they actually didn't list it. Sometimes they'll say a range. They're like, we'll pay $5 to $10 an hour. Low-key, whoever gets hired for this is probably overseas, and they're going to get paid like $2 an hour. It's pretty bad. But we could say, like, pay me $10 an hour because I'm desperate, right? And I actually get 9 because Upwork takes 10%. You could set a rate increase, like if you want to up it, but this is a short-term contract, so it doesn't matter. You write a little cover letter, like, I'd love to type for you. I'd love to do that. You can add experience. So you can say, like, these are jobs I've done in the past. And you can boost it, so you can bid, like your Clash Royale gems. They have like their own currency on the site. And then you can send it, and then they might respond, but they probably won't. But yeah, that's how you apply. This is a fun one. University of Houston tailgate photographer. This is like a mystery job, like I said earlier. Like, there's good stuff on here. There's some gems. But yeah, you really got to look. Like, what's a job somebody's interested in? Can I get a raised hand? Anybody? Luca, what do you want to do for work? Like, what's your passion when it comes to projects? Okay, yeah. Hayden, you want to bake? Okay. Let's see. Like, you could probably do a lot of things on here. Let's see. Chef, private chef for $3 to $3.50 an hour. Remote training. Hayden, this is where you get started. This is the bottom of the barrel job to build your resume on Upwork. Culinary expert, private chef, highly skilled food recipe developer, $3 an hour. So. Yeah. So if you're looking to like get paid a little more than that, you can also check out, let's see. So you go to find work, and then so you don't get like inhumane wages, you go to US only. And this will show you jobs that usually have better prices. Yeah, there's some goodies on here. But yeah, like short write-ups, this would be a good one for getting started. It's pretty vague, but $5, it's not good money, but it's good brand. You know what I mean? Like, you got to get jobs under your belt. So that's a little job search demo. Hope you enjoyed. And yeah, any questions? Any at all? I guess you guys are all good to start. So thank you. That's all.